Flip the coin conversations. Here we go again. Thank you very much for joining us. We are spiritual beings. We are blessed and highly favored. We are the children of the higher God. We are made in the image of God. We have unlimited creativity. We have unlimited or infinite intelligence. There is perfection inside of us. That's the self-image that we need to hold, or the concept of self that we have to hold of ourselves as individuals and as a collective. What will that do to our results? It will change our results from the results that we see today of shacks, the results of low-paying jobs, the results of education system that we have accepted, that we don't deserve. It will change us from people who accept what we are given to people who are only accepting what they are worthy of. We are talking about self-image today at Flip the Coin for the reason that we really need to elevate people from low frequency to high frequency. As a people, we've accepted things that we really don't deserve. We've accepted poverty as our reality. And personally, I really believe that is a consequence of the self-image that we have for ourselves. I don't mean to be offensive to anyone, but our self-image is negative. We don't believe that we are deserving of ownership, for instance, which is the reason why we don't own anything. We only believe that we are here to survive for a little while and die. We believe that we are worthy of nothing but crumbs. Those people that other people don't want, they can throw those things at us. For instance, if you go to ShopRite, you will find things that they cannot buy in other areas at Checkers. The things that we buy at ShopRite would be disqualified at Checkers. Why? Because we accept things that we shouldn't because of our self-image, which is the reason why we want to talk about self-image today. Self-image is a spiritual concept. It's a spiritual concept because we understand that this self that we are talking about comes in duality. We have a lower self and a higher self. The higher self is inside. It's not high in the sky, it's inside of us. Some people refer to it as a divine self because it is divine. There is perfection inside of us. There is divinity inside of us as a people. These are the things that we need to believe so that we can start taking ourselves seriously, start taking our lives seriously, and start going towards things with an approach that says we are not beggars, we are not charity cases. Because a charity case is a self-image issue. A beggar is a self-image issue. A drunkard is a self-image issue. So we really don't have drinking problems, we have self-image problems. We don't have a poverty problem, we have a self-image problem. All of these things are caused by our self-image, the image or the concept that we hold of ourselves. Where do we get this self-image? From the day that we were born, we were really taught of our nothingness. The nothingness was really installed from the day that we entered this world. Because this nothingness was instilled in our parents, and their parents, and their parents, which is what slavery was all about, taking away the confidence from the people, strip them of their humanity so that they can see themselves as nothings, so that they can see themselves as children of a lesser God, so that they can see themselves as just subjects, people who are just here to serve or be servants, to others, which is not true. It's not true that a nation can wait for another nation to initiate so that this nation can benefit. That's a charity case mindset that comes from the self-image that we hold of ourselves. The self-image is installed in all elements of our society, from our schooling system, our homes, our society at large, our churches. Our churches are telling us to pray for jobs. Most churches are not telling us to pray for ownership. People are not praying for ownership. People are not praying for direct connection to the divine, so that they can live according to the purpose that they were here. Which also links the topic that we were speaking about last week, seeking our purpose to self-image. Because if you live according to the purpose you are here, you know your assignment, you will never go around with your head down, waiting for other people to validate you. When other people disqualify you, you will always qualify yourself, because you know your connection to your divine self, and you can never be divine and be inferior at the same time. The self-image of divinity, the self-image of powerfulness can never be encompassed in the same body with fear. Fear and faith do not stay in one place. A divine person becomes faithful, becomes persistent. A divine person becomes unstoppable. Nothing can stop you. A divine person moves from complaining, and becomes a problem solver. A divine person doesn't allow himself or herself to be a charity case, something to be felt pity for. A divine person is a person that comes with solutions, that solves his or her own problems. So the self-image of divinity, the self-image of powerfulness has to be adopted. But it really needs to be understood. Where can it be found? Where do we find this self-image, this divine self, this higher self? How do we tap onto it? Easy. We go inside, we let the outside, we shut the outside out. There are books on this thing. There are books that are written. These books are on public domain. On the public domain, you find these books on the internet. You can download them. There's a lot of books that we can share that flip the coin, because we are the products of the same information. This information is information that we are constantly, connecting with, because we need to connect with this information, because the intelligence inside of us will tell us what doesn't make sense anymore, because we've been living with information that was given to us. We were told not to evaluate it. We were told not to ask questions. It's high time that we ask questions. It's high time that we go and get alternative information that will inform a new self-image, which is really wanted as in yesterday. Because this self-image will guide us. This information, this self-image will take us to new dimensions. For instance, we now believe that we can create our own alternative economy. That's a matter of self-image. People with negative self-image or who are vibrating at a low frequency will tell you that, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? It's a good thing when somebody else tells you that, but it's a very sad thing if you tell yourself that. Or you are the person who's asking you, who am I to do that? Who am I to do that? Because I never came from a certain school. I don't come from a rich family. Who am I? When you tell yourself that, then you have a negative self-image, which is something that needs to be corrected. You need to correct that as soon as possible. So that you can say, you can start saying, if somebody else can do it, so can I. So if other nations can do it, so can we. That's the self-image. That's what self-image will give to us. We are talking about self-image today because we want to start a new journey with our people. We want to start on a new paradigm with the black nation. The black nation has got to start believing that we too can be producers. We can move away from being consumers. We can move away from being charity cases. We can move away from being beggars. We can also do things for ourselves just like other people. Just like other people, like the Chinese, the Indians, the whites. We can do better things. Better things. Something causes me to believe that we can do better. Why? Because we have the numbers. We have the numbers. We are a majority. Even the smallest resources, if we can come together and unite and bring those resources and be guided by this spiritual knowledge that we too deserve what other people have. We also deserve to have factories. We also deserve to have banks. We also deserve to be commercial farmers. We also deserve to be producers of everything that we consume. We too can produce those things, and in that process create jobs for ourselves. In that process take our kids to better schools or build our own schools. Why not? We can build our own schools, our own hospitals, only if we can start believing that yes, we too can. We too can. That's a new self-image that we need. So there are books that I want to suggest to you that will also validate what we are saying. Not because we need validation, but we just want to show you that this information is not new, because these books are not new. These books were written long time ago. I think some of them are more than 100 years old. Some of these books are 70, 80, 90, 100 and more than 100 years old. These writers were writing since the 18-somethings. The writers like James Allen, writers like Maxwell Maltz, Ernest Holmes, Neville Goddard, and even Napoleon Hill. If you have read Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill wrote it in 1937 it was released. 1937 it was released. This book tells us that it's not the academic education that can produce the riches. It is not the education that, as we know it today, that came first. The industries were here even before the education started. There was industrialization before the academic education. All right. The first book I want to share is Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard. This is the first book that introduced me to spirituality. Believe it or not, I grew up in religion, but I was introduced to this concept of spirituality by this book, Power of Awareness. Power of Awareness is about being aware of self. It takes you through the journey of self-discovery. In that book, you will know what the meaning of I am and the power behind saying I am, which tells you about who you are and what are those things that you need to put after I am. What is it that you need to put after I am, which means the concept of self, because I am remains the same. Doesn't matter what concept you pick up, I am will remain the same, but I am will be guided by your own concept. If you say I am poor, you are poor. If you say I am rich, I am blessed, I am highly favored, that's what you will become. Everything that you put after I am is in that book, Power of Awareness, Consciousness. It's got a lot of other topics that are very, very powerful that will take you through this self-discovery journey. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book will make you rich. No two ways about it. It will make you a millionaire because you are a millionaire. That's the first thing this book will tell you. It will tell you that you are. You don't have to be a millionaire when you get the money in the bank account. You need to start becoming a millionaire in your self-image, which means in your subconscious mind. Being a millionaire, it's a paradigm. You just need to move from a poverty paradigm to the paradigm of a millionaire. Another book is Creative Mind by Ernest Holmes. That book is also powerful. I put it on the same pedestal as Power of Awareness. Why? Because the book is telling you about the sequence of creation. We were created by the Creator that also made us or gave us the right to create. When we are given a dominion, we are given the right to create the lives that we want as a people, which means there's no excuse. We are given the right to create. We are supposed to start creating. Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. The art of visualization. Whatever you want, you need to visualize it and believe that it's yours. You deserve it so that you can go and get it. That's another book. It's another powerful book. Psycho-Cybernetics. Maxwell Maltz is the author there. You Are It by Alan Watts. That one I was reading this morning, Lobster. Yeah, Alan Watts. You are it. You need to check that one out. And there's also another one that I recently bumped into, From Poverty to Power by James Allen. James Allen is the same author that gave you As a Man Thinketh. He also gave us The Power of Peace. That is James Allen. So all of these authors, they've got more books. They are not only, restricted to these books. They've got more books. The more you know them, the more you will want from them. So these are powerful books, just a few of them. There's a lot. There's At Your Command by Neville Goddard. There's also Feeling is a Secret. That's another powerful book. Whatever you think creates a feeling. When you feel it, you are starting to experience it even before you hold it. You experience it because you have created a vibration that is in harmony with this thing that you want. So you start feeling it. Alright, now that we have shared the books with you, what are you going to do about it? We've shared the information with you. Self-image is one thing that we need to start looking into. We need to start re-introspecting, evaluating our own self-image. Is it giving us the results that we are looking for? If it's not, we need to change it. Because my self-image is that I'm not a millionaire. I make millionaires, which is what we are doing at Flip the Coin. All of our projects are all about making millionaires, changing people's lives, taking people from poverty to power, so that people can realize that they are powerful too. That's my self-image. What's yours? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Till we meet again, Chario, Flip the Coin.